The Porta-John stop. Next in line.
They're very handy. You find them everywhere.
Okay, Grant, why don't we turn it over? This is the neighbor's house right over here, which is literally a log cabin. And what did she say to you?
I don't need a water feature. I have a perfect view of the one you built for my neighbor.
So you were on this project for 6 months.
6 months.
You actually built yourself, you said, a little hut?
Yeah, like a tent cabin.
Because you started in November.
Started in November.
Beautiful day in Surrey, British Columbia, and I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy, and it's all about living the aquascape lifestyle. And we are traveling with Grant from Eau Naturelle Water Features. Grant, and this is apparently the largest project you've ever been on, huh?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so you're about to see the largest water feature that Eau Naturelle Water Features has ever created. Check it out. Perfect thing to be facing the house. What's interesting on seeing this is the front yard water feature. This is actually the first water feature you started talking about, and then apparently you've got even a bigger one out back. But talking to Grant here, you said that this grade was all at about just a little bit higher than the retaining wall. So with these beautiful cedar trees, how did you build it up? You actually built some boxes around the cedar trees?
Yeah, around the foot of every tree we built 2x10 box that kept the soil from being on the tree. And then we fill it with river rock, cap it off with the landscape fabric, and then just a composted mulch on top. So the tree still gets to breathe, isn't suffocated by the soil.
Wow.
And it allows us to build the grade that will.
You probably moved about 4 foot of soil on here, huh?
Oh yeah.
So this is a pondless waterfall. How big is your vault down here?
It goes from gravel to gravel and to the fall.
That's it?
But it's double deep.
Okay.
It's 2 blocks deep.
So if this turns off, it will then recirculate without overflowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many aqua blocks did you use in here, Grant?
There's about 12 aqua blocks in there that serve to hold enough water to properly recirculate this feature, and if it does turn off, still adequate water to replenish without taking too much out of your reservoir to make the pump run dry.
What pumps did you use in here?
2 4-to-8 AquaSurge pumps.
So they can turn them on, turn them off with a switch, and put them up or put them down.
It's always on full speed, and there's no use for the remote because they just like it this way.
So you were just telling me this story, I think this is great. So this is a non-English speaking customer. They had an interpreter, their sister-in-law or something here. Right. But you said when you were talking and showing pictures and she was translating, he pointed to you, and what happened?
The homeowner, without speaking in English of course, kind of motioned to me after we had finished talking about this project. He's like, kind of like a, come here and let's go look over this side. And then he gave an explanation through an interpreter of what he had envisioned for the backyard, which was almost exactly what I would have envisioned myself.
That's impressive. So come here, we're going to the backyard. Oh my goodness. I would have never thought this was back there. So this is
about a year old.
I love the neighbor's log cabin. It literally looks like it just extends out of the woods and it just keeps going. You're telling me that the owner suggested this?
The same idea I had. I just made it happen.
Okay, now if you were to tell me that this waterfall was out of the middle of the forest, I would believe you. Right, this is massive. What is the size of this feature? So is it filtered with a wetland?
Yes, right here.
So how does a wetland filter work?
Wetland takes water from the stream, runs through some naturally planted and rock and gravel space, and then runs back into the stream.
So this is the wetland, and you just have a smaller pump running it, or you just have a little line off of it?
It's gravity fed. It comes in off the side. You see how this water goes in there?
Yeah.
Comes in through here and then out back into the...
Sure. Have you ever counted up the waterfalls? 1, 2,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, maybe 10 or 12.
Okay.
This lovely deck and patio that is currently that wasn't that before. It used to be a 2-car garage shop kind of thing, and I convinced the homeowner that it had to come down. So it wasn't dilapidated or old or anything, it was in the way. So we took it down. Didn't take very long when you have a big machine with a nice big size bucket crushing everything. It came down really fast, and then the bits and pieces got hauled away into the dumpster. We used this same space as a place to back our dump trucks up to drop boulders into workspace for quite a while we were placing boulders. And then after we were finished making a mess with boulders and such and using it for gravel dump and storage space and all that, then we turned it into this. This is how we are skimming this pond. It's an intake bay. It's very flexible with water height, so water height can change a little bit up and down, and it still works quite well. Things will collect here. It's also the depth that it is, so that it's nice and easy to actually skim, because they hide a net behind that tree. This way, with the depth that you have here, it's easy just to collect things off the top and keep track of what's going on there. This is a green roof pump house. Once the plants in there mature and come over, it will nearly disappear because of its color, its position, and the fact that it's a green roof. It's constructed of 4x6 landscape timber, so it's also quite insulated. You don't really hear much at all of the hum of the pump. With the green roof, that helps as well with insulation of sound, so it just works out super well. We've used a lot of driftwood or deadwood pieces because I just think it's the perfect way to blend one element of nature with the rock and the plant and the water. It belongs here as a package deal. So some of these wood pieces were quite local from a nursery that had cleared some space, but some of them actually came from a beach that I had to actually take a ferry to go to this particular beach that I knew about that had a lot of interesting pieces of driftwood. The woodwork here with the bridges, there's numerous bridges on this project, was all laid out to blend with the style, with the shape and of the feature here. Purposefully did that not just because of this tree, but that was one reason. Also because of where I envisioned the stairs coming down there and where I wanted this to land on the other side. The design was right to just do a jog, right angle jog, and land here and look like it was planned, and it was.
So You were on this project for 6 months.
6 months.
Because you started in November.
Started in November. We get a fair bit of rain around here, so from November through to March-ish when I finished, it was, yeah, you can get pretty wet.
How many guys did you have helping with this?
Off and on, there was some temporary help, so probably on average 3.
Between 3 guys and a machine, you guys put 450,000 pounds of stone.
Yes, most of the setting was me and a machine guy. There are other helpers were there sometimes for help and filling in things, but most of the rocks were set.
And you not only did all of the water feature, but you also did the landscaping, which is a bit unusual.
Yes, it only happened to be that I took on the landscaping part of it because the homeowner was so taken and felt like he could trust me. He wanted me to take care of that as well.
The first time that you plugged in this waterfall to see it come to life, that must have been a highly anticipated moment.
Yeah, I think I almost fainted.
It worked!
Just to see it coming down that hill right from the beginning, because from where you start it, I mean, the power is down there, so you turn it on, I can't even see the start of it. I had to flick the breaker on, and then I had to step out and follow it up the stream to actually see where it actually started coming from, and then I would walked with it as it came down.
Obviously, the owner that hired you doesn't speak English. How did you know he was happy with this the first time he saw it?
It was pretty obvious. They were out of town for a lot of the build, so they would come in periodically, have a look, and then go. But the people who were watching over the progress were relatives who live locally. Their expressions and their near tears experiences a number of times would tell the story.
And that's the art. And so as artists, we love to be able to make that kind of an impact in people's lives, because this truly is art. It's art not with pen and paper or paint and canvas, it's with rock and water. And each waterfall has got a unique sound, each waterfall has got a unique look, and even the stones that you use, if you twist them or turn them a different way as an artist, it'll completely change that space with that water.
Different sight, different sound, different character, heights, angles, all of it changes with the tip of a rock.
So this would be what we would consider a recreation pond, the size of it. You don't just have to use it for you can actually put your feet in it, you can wade in it, you can stock it with game fish if you wanted, but this property right here will be forever changed by the work that it took you 6 months to do. And this is the whole goal of this channel, is to showcase people how they live the aquascape lifestyle. This would be a massive project, a massive budget, but what an amazing impact. And there's nobody that's going to come into this property and not sit here and completely be perplexed by this. How did it actually start? Where does it come from? Hey, good morning.
I'm Gary.
Hi, Gary. Nice to meet you. What a beautiful waterfall. So this has been in here for less than a year, and what got you to go ahead and decide to do this?
We were actually going to relocate from here. We were going to go to Chilliwack. It's a river like this.
Okay.
But it was too much money, so we decided to put our own in.
Build the water where you can actually enjoy it every single day of your life. So this is your retirement home.
This is it.
How much work is something like a pondless waterfall like this?
Nothing. Just adding, what, 20 mil of that
Like a water treatment.
1 week.
Once a week water treatment, and then just lets it run and it just goes.
Yeah.
So what was involved in the construction of this, Grant?
Typical, we excavated reservoir, created more of a hill. We actually trucked in a lot more dirt than it looks like, because this was already a hill, but we added significantly to the top part, because it already had a slope. We just made it more.
40-foot stream?
It's about a 40-foot stream. It was really great to see it take shape, because as we started putting dirt there, put more dirt there, you could see it better how it was going to come down and blend with the whole. Because we already had the slope already coming towards the house, it's perfect. You just work with it.
So what do people say that come to your yard, because they're not expected to see something like this for the first time?
Wow. Just walking into another language and that back water.
Yeah, how do you enjoy it?
How do I enjoy that?
Yeah, the sound, the sitting
Put me to sleep.
Yeah.
I can go here and sit in my chair and watch all the birds, as you can see.
You know it's a success when your work puts your customers to sleep.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, it's great.
Thanks for the hospitality and showing us your places. You'd recommend Au
Absolutely.
Naturel for any of the...
Au Naturel all the way. Yeah.
There you go. If you like this stuff, like, comment, and subscribe below, and find an Au Naturel in your area certified aquascape contractor. I love my job.